So kind of a random video today. You see this big piece of Ricky Stenhouse Sunny D sheet metal right here. Sheet metal is kind of going to be the theme of this episode. So I have a friend. His name is Ben White. He's a NASCAR journalist. He's been working around the sport for decades at this point. He's written books with Bobby Allison and many other famous and well-known respected figures from around the industry. He's also the co-host of the A Lifetime in NASCAR podcast. And since I'm out here in North Carolina, he invited me over to his house to see what he calls Uncle Ben's Lunchroom. He was generous enough to allow me to film some of his collection, this experience he has created, and I'm sure he's gonna have a lot of really interesting stories to tell about many of the different pieces in his collection. So if you're a big NASCAR collector or something like that out there, this should be a really interesting experience for you, and I know it will be for me. So now I just gotta make sure I don't miss the turn off, but let's go check this out. This is a hood from what car?
It's a 1962 Chevrolet.
1962 Chevrolet,
Yeah,
wow.
And I just found the hood in a
And you painted it?
antique store. Yeah.
That's super cool.
I gave $100 for the hood, and I thought, I'm gonna make this. Okay, I want to welcome you to Uncle Ben's Lunchroom, and I'll tell you the story as to why it's called Uncle Ben's, but I made this hood just for kicks and giggles because, you know, I thought it'd be kind of fun to hang. I might hang it out here somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta like the entrance, you know, to let people know what they're walking into.
Right, and this is a 1950 Buick hood.
Oh, wow.
That I made just for, again, kicks and giggles. And this is kind of what we call Uncle Ben's Lunchroom, but White's Garage. This is what it would have looked like if you were racing a car in the 1950 Southern 500 at Darlington.
Yeah.
This is the way they did it. They put the sponsor on the hood and on the sides, just for fun. If you want to come in, this is my place to, you know, kick back, and this is what we call Uncle Ben's Lunchroom. Okay, here we go. Lots of sheet metal.
Whoa, this is nuts.
But this is about 35 years worth of just collecting sheet metal. This is kind of my thing. Some people play golf and some people cook, and I like to cook also. Funny story is, when I got married, my wife and I, Eva, we got married in 1989, and I was just kidding with her. I said, hey, I'd love to have a restaurant. She said, that's great, we can have a restaurant, and then on Monday we'll just go and get a divorce. It's like, okay, wait, stop, we don't want to do that. So this is kind of my compromise, and for about 35 years I've collected sheet metal. I bought some pieces, and some people have you know, given me some pieces from racing teams and things like that over the years. So, but I want to start here in the kitchen. My grandfather, whose name was also Ben White, had a place in Dalton, Georgia. And as you can see, he called his place Uncle Ben's Lunchroom, and that's
them right there.
That is my grandparents, Ben and Agnes White. And so I didn't want to call this Ben's Man Cave. So I just decided, just for fun, I call it Uncle Ben's Lunchroom also. But we got the old oven, and I've been collecting old pieces, and as you can see here, some old, you know, some old coffee cans and some chip cans and stuff like that. So just for decoration.
Oh, original Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
I don't see that outside of baseball stadiums very often, but that's cool.
There's some
Oh, who's this on the Wheaties box? Oh, Daryl Waltrip.
Yeah.
I wish we put drivers on cereal boxes more nowadays, but that's classic.
Yeah, and just some, you know, some old doors. This, you know, U.S. Royal Tires was something from the 30s. A buddy of mine gave me. And so we just for decorative purposes, we stuck those up there on the ceiling. But
looks nice.
I guess to start the tour. By the way, let's start with this old car. This old car is a 1983 El Camino, and it's really not supposed to be here, but it's
quite the centerpiece.
Yeah, we kind of got it crunch. If the car wasn't here, we would have tables set up here. This Goodies banner here hung at the last North Wilkesboro race in 1996.
Whoa, really?
Sure did, yes. And
do you know like where it hung? Like just
I don't. I wish I did. It was
that's so
on
cool.
one of the fences there around
that's
the
awesome.
racetrack. But yep, it kind of hung at the last race at North Wilkesboro, so we're kind of using it as a windshield cover for now. But
still has a purpose all these years later.
It does. As you can see, we're a little tight for space. Come this direction. As you can see, Brett Bodine called me one day and said, hey, I've got something for you, a little something for you, I should say. So I went to the race team, and I got there, and there's the whole side of the car.
That's
So
the
I
whole
said,
thing.
Brad, I thought you said you had a little something for me. He said, well, yeah, I kind of did. So I had to go rent a U-Haul truck to get this home. But
Hey, but it was worth it.
it was. Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
Very kind of him to send that my way.
You told me everything in here is race used, correct?
Yeah, it is race used.
Wow.
Everything had been on the racetrack. And this is a piece that Rick Hendrick gave me from Jeff Gordon. I wrote a book with Rick Hendrick back in the 20th anniversary, 2004. He started his team in 1984. And so the book came out in 2004. And this is a piece that Jeff raced at Dover, Delaware, I believe in 2006, I want to say. And so it says on the back, Jeff Gordon, 2006, Dover. But I guess there's so much to see up here on the...
Yeah, wow, it comes at you from every direction. That's Allmendinger on the roof. We gotta rotate.
Sure is. And behind that is a Jeremy Mayfield Kelly Yarborough Motorsports piece.
Whoa.
That,
oh, it's upside down. That's not the 86, the 98. Oh gosh.
The 98, yeah. Here's a Derek Cope piece when he was driving for Bobby Allison Motorsports.
Derek Cope.
Yep, and you come on down and that's a Jimmy Spencer piece.
It's signed too, is that right?
Sure is, yep.
Whoa.
When he was driving for Sirius XM satellite radio. This is an AJ Foyt piece. He didn't drive the car, but he was a team owner. This is 94, 95, I believe. If you look really close, AJ did sign it there on the door.
Oh yeah.
It's faded a bit because it was signed in Sharpie, and so it's been many years since he signed it there. Piece over here from Morgan Shepherd.
This is a Morgan Shepherd.
Yep.
Sicko.
Yep.
Hoods back in the day were just huge.
Yeah.
Just massive compared to today even.
To today's
I mean, that's gigantic.
Really wide. This is a Dell Jr. Budweiser deck lid here.
Ooh.
Yep.
Do you have any idea what year that'd be from?
I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you.
It does say .com. Oh, I guess Junior always raced in the .com era. So.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Carl Edwards, 2008 Roush Fenway hood here.
See, we got Aflac on it.
Yep, sure does.
This is 2008. You said, see, I saw my first race in 2005, and Carl Edwards won that race in the Office Depot car, but not quite the same year.
And that's a Bobby Labonte piece from, I believe, Joe Gibbs Racing.
You got the lunchbox to go with it.
Yeah,
Nice.
Found that at a yard sale one day for $1, I believe, so I couldn't resist. This is a Steve Park piece, and as you can see, the decals.
Whoa! I've never seen that before. I've never seen the decals like peeling after a long time.
Down at the bottom here, another Jeff Gordon piece from early '90s, I believe.
Yeah, Winston Cup era on this one.
Sure is.
That's cool. Wow. It just keeps going and going. You get the Winston Cup Illustrated magazine banner.
I was senior editor of NASCAR, or Winston Cup Illustrated back in the mid-90s, and that was something we used when we took magazines to racetracks. And the publisher, Robert Griggs, was kind enough to let me have that. This is a helmet. We did a piece for NASCAR Illustrated when we took Bobby Allison and myself to a driving school at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you can zero in on this, we had so much fun. Actually, Bobby was trying to teach me how to drive a car around Charlotte, but it says, Ben, thanks for not running into me, Bobby Allison. We had a lot of fun with that.
That's amazing.
But Steve, these were all some folks that took the class with me, and it was just a lot of fun. There's something a lot of folks may not realize, that 155 years ago, I actually drove race cars on a local level, and this is my original, one of my original suits. The helmet's not original, but it looks very much like the one I drove. And that might make you laugh a little bit, but that was actually me in a race car.
That's you. Whoa.
That is me back in 1977.
Hey, you look good. That's awesome.
That was my little beat up race car.
What kind of tracks did you do?
It was the Bowman Gray Stadium.
Oh, heck yeah.
And Caraway Speedway up in Asheboro. And yeah, I tried to set the world on fire. Didn't have a huge amount of talent and had way less money than talent. So,
well,
yeah, this is one of my driver's seats. That's not the same driver's seat I had on, but I did use this one.
Who's that? A Motorcraft? Who's that one off?
Believe it or not, that is a John Wood.
John Wood.
Late model car.
Oh.
That he ran many years ago, and now he's in the management side of Wood Brothers Racing. But yep, that is. And now these two pieces really mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's a quarter panel and a hood from Davey Allison's car.
Wow.
In 1992, actually 93, I believe, is when they were Robert Yates was very kind and gave those to me. I did a book with Robert Yates, and he gave those to me after Davy's death. But yeah, this means a huge amount to me to be able to have these hanging in here. Davy was a very close friend of mine, and so Robert gave those to me, and I'll always cherish those. They mean a lot. Here's a shot of the three of us together.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And myself and Davy. Davy was a very close friend, and
yeah.
I'm sure miss him even today.
Absolutely.
Many years later.
You were telling me about this seat right here earlier before I turned the camera on, because you have a chair just hanging upside down.
Yeah, that's when Darlington Raceway, you know, back about 4 or 5 years ago, they remodeled the racetrack, and that came from the Red Tyler Grandstand area. When I was 11, 12 years old, I saw my first race in Darlington, and we always sat on the backstretch in the concrete area, but Dennis Warden, who is not with Darlington any longer, but he gave me that seat because they were remodeling, and they were
that's cool.
To get rid of those seats. And I told him how my first races were in Darlington, and he said, well, I'd like to let you have one for the lunchroom just to hang in there. So
that's awesome.
I had an opening between right there. That's a Rusty Wallace Kodak.
Yeah, wow, Kodak colors. You don't see that.
Yeah, you normally
very
see
often.
the number 4 on the Kodak, but Rusty ran that car one time at Pocono.
Oh yeah, you got the Miller light, that gives it away.
Yeah,
that tells you who it is. I noticed a signature on this Mobil 1 hood. Is that Tony Stewart I see?
Yeah, sure is.
Wow.
Yeah, he saw photos of the lunchroom, and he said there's the only thing wrong with the place is that you don't have one of my hoods, and so he was kind enough to let me have one for it. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And you got a newer piece down here. This is a newer Kyle Busch bumper. It looks like
about 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, very nice. But yeah, just some pieces that I've had along the way. So like I said, some I've bought over the years, and some have been given to me, and so it's just a good place to hang them up and hang out, and you know, I'm just a good place to. And I do some writing in here too sometimes.
Yeah,
too.
I can imagine this. The creative juices really get flowing in here. You could get lost looking at every single piece, and like you were telling me, you have really a story. There is a story behind every piece in here, and many of them for you are very personal, very firsthand.
Yeah, sure are. And I've been blessed to have a lot of friendships in the sport, and you know, I do a lot of feature writing. I don't get into hard news too much, so I do a lot of features and just a lot of history. That's what I really enjoy, and you know, it's just a lot of fun to be a part of this sport. And I've been blessed to be a part of it for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah. This feels like a fully functionable restaurant. All that's missing, I guess, are the tables and chairs. Yeah, but you got a pretty cool car here, at least.
Yeah,
you know,
we're trying to. My son, like I say, is working on it to try to get it going again, and then it's a little bit of a process, but.
So you said you've had like friends and stuff here. Who all has been invited to Uncle Ben's Lunchroom in its current state?
We've had Bobby Allison here a couple times, and we've had where the Miller time is there. We've had a flat screen, and anytime he comes, we try to show some of the races that he's won. He enjoys that, and
inflate his ego, you know.
Yeah, Bobby's a really close friend of mine. Again, yeah. Not trying to toot any horns here, but I also have written a book with Bobby. And
who haven't you written a book with?
Oh, I don't know. I've done about 10 books, and I'm really honored to have been able to do those. And Bobby is a very close friend of the family, and a close friend of mine, and. Yeah, but I enjoy having some friends over. I love to cook. It's my second passion.
And you've combined cooking and NASCAR history here into something beautiful.
Right. I got to show you this. This is something that I really enjoy.
Oh.
This thing is I want to say 1940s Maytag washer. Okay? Got the old thing where you would put you'd wash your clothes and you bring them out up here. But what we use it for is we would put ice in this right here, and then we put like sodas or beer or whatever in here because
you turned it into a cooler.
Yeah, you got your line on the back anyway, because to drain the water out. So the ice will just drain, and then you just put beer and soda and stuff like that in it. So it works perfect. It's like a great ice chest.
Well, this is really, really cool. I could definitely get lost in here for hours and hours on end. Really appreciate you sharing this and letting me show it off to everyone, because I could listen to you tell stories about these pieces for hours and hours. And in fact, we do have a podcast, A Lifetime in NASCAR, where you do tell great NASCAR history stories for hours and hours and hours. It's fantastic.
I love the history of NASCAR, and the beauty of it is we got 2 years of NASCAR to talk about, and we could fill up weeks and weeks of just great stories.
Yeah.
And that's what we love to do with A Lifetime in NASCAR. And there's so many great stories that we can tell.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the fans tuning in and listening, and got a lot of great stories to tell.
And many more to come, because there's always more history being made, right? That's how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, this is fantastic.
We're glad our fans could come and visit the lunchroom, and we've got a lot of great stories to tell.
Well, that was really awesome. Thank you again a ton to Ben for inviting me into his home, letting me see Uncle Ben's lunchroom. I can't wait to see what else he does with it, but that's a pretty impressive collection. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I've got my own collection slowly but surely beginning here. I need a better place to store this. My car is not big enough for a whole NASCAR bumper, but I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, check out the A Lifetime in NASCAR podcast. Thanks for watching, y'all. I will see you in the next video. Well, that's upside down. That doesn't look as good on camera. I'll have to flip it. Ah, there we go.